Hey out there, this is Monday, the 19th day of June, 2017, and it's about 9:22 in the morning here in Northern California, and I'm doing this little special commentary on the Megyn Kelly versus Alex Jones interview, hit piece interview, and I just I'm a little bit disappointed in the release. I was hoping that more of the true Alex Jones could have come through. They really highlighted all the bad sides of his character, the profanities and the theatrics, and they conflated that with being a liar and offering the public fake news and even incendiary mean news when it comes to things like Sandy Hook and all this. But I wanted to show some of the clips as I go so I can respond. And it was, I guess, about a 15-minute piece, 17 minutes. But I'm going to try to run through that pretty quick. So I'm going to pause my tape and go to the television.
That elements of the U.S. government allowed the 9/11 attacks to happen, and that the horrific Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. Some thought we shouldn't broadcast this interview because his baseless allegations aren't just offensive, they're dangerous. But here's the thing. Alex Jones isn't going away. Over the years, his YouTube channel has racked up 1.3 billion views. He has millions of listeners and the ear of our current president. We begin our report with his reaction to the recent terrorist attack in Manchester, England. Alex Jones was nearly 5,000 miles away from Manchester, England, when a suicide bomber killed 22 people at a concert less than 4 weeks ago. Despite the distance and with few facts known, Jones did what he often does, jumped mouth first into controversy.
A big bomb goes off at a pop star's rock concert, bombing a bunch of liberal trendies.
You said it was a bunch of liberal trendies who were killed, the same people who are promoting open borders, bringing Islamists in.
Yes.
In response to which many people looked at the victims, many of whom were 15, 14. There was a little...
I know, I'm sorry I didn't blow them up. I know, but I did something bad, though.
No, that you would suggest that an 8-year-old, right? There was Safi Rose Rousseau, 8 years old, that she was a liberal trendy. Because that's what you said about the victims, is what has people upset.
That the media misrepresenting and clipping that the way you did. I got home at like 6 o'clock, heard about it. The ages of the victims weren't even known, but they were saying it was jihadi. And I said, how crazy is it that liberal trendies are now the victims? And then I start going and looking. Of course, if there's kids being killed by Muslims, I'm not saying that it's their fault.
That pattern, reckless accusation followed by equivocations and excuses, is classic Alex Jones.
They can just carte blanche, go anywhere they want.
He has spent nearly 2 decades on the fringe, shouting his conspiracy theories into any microphone he could get in front of. Here he is on Austin Community Television in 2001.
Tyranny is enveloping the globe.
He and his company InfoWars have been steadily gaining followers for years, producing radio shows and webcasts, which reach millions a month. But Jones's influence hit new heights when he attracted a very famous fan, then presidential candidate Donald Trump.
I just want to finish by saying your reputation's amazing.
In December 2015, Mr. Trump appeared on Jones's radio program, offering praise and promises.
I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope. And I think we'll be speaking a lot.
Separately, both men had supported the false statement that Barack Obama was not a natural-born citizen.
Donald Trump is surging.
And they've had more in common since.
Okay, in response to the allegations so far, Alex talking about the liberal trendies being blown up. He's upset because he doesn't understand why so many of these people that consider themselves liberal are so accepting of what's going on in the world. And what I mean by that is these dubious wars being manufactured so that these refugees can be brought in to cause a clash of civilization and the people just going along with it. He sees this cucking of the people, and it upsets him. And so sometimes he expresses himself in an off the cuff, perhaps even unbecoming manner, and he would do himself a great service to think a little bit before he speaks, because he's got a wonderful vocabulary. He's a very intelligent man, very passionate, and he doesn't really need all the theatrics, really, because he gets through. Just the material he covers provokes enough thought in the public to where he doesn't really need any extra sarcasm or theatrical rants, anything like that. But in a sense, it's hard to tell sometimes when he's being ranting or when he's being theatrical. But at the end of the day, the man is for real. He wants the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So does InfoWars. And they're just trying to point out that this whoever the government is, cannot always be trusted. I mean, everybody knows that. They talk about conspiracy theories, and it's ridiculous because we all know that there's conspiracy facts. We all know what the majority of the commissioners on the 9/11 commission, the panel on the 9/11 commission, said it's fraud, it's a hoax. This couldn't have happened this way. This is what the Underwriters Laboratory, UL, people say, that steel does not behave this way. This is what a group of over 2,200 architects and engineers say about 9/11. This is what the professionals tell you. There's testimonial of people say in the sub-basement there was a huge explosion that dislodged the foundation. Well, that's exactly the way you implode a building that is set for demolition. So, this didn't even come up, a chance to, show all the fallacies. I mean, 9/11 alone, that Alex Jones would expose 9/11, has done a great service to not just America, but to humanity. One has to ask themselves, how many lives are saved from Alex Jones pointing out that we ought not go into Syria, that this is a big mistake. They just want to install this jihadist, radical Islamic government into Syria. I mean, if Alex Jones and his crew and his listeners dissuade America from attacking the wrong guy and overthrowing another nation like Libya, for example, or Iraq, now in retrospect everybody admits that was a mistake, then I think that what Alex Jones does is immeasurably valuable to the public. It's accurate news. And even if he goes a little overboard, if he gets a little hyperbolic and exaggerates, so what? So what? It's important. He feels like he's got to knock people upside the head, and that's his way of doing it. I agree with that. I'm the same kind of guy. I feel like I'm scared. It scares me. It literally scares the crap out of me when I think about what it's going to take to jar people out of their slumber. Okay, isn't it enough what humanity has been through the ages? Okay, all these massive conflicts, not to mention the World War I, World War II. I mean, all these horrible incidents that humanity has experienced collectively. And what do we have to go through before we get it together, before we start living the way God wants us to live? That's not a religious statement. I'm just saying, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's look through God's eyes and see, does he really want us to carry on the way we are? Or does he need us to knock us upside the head, metaphorically speaking? Whatever that means, whatever it's going to take. Do we need a third world war? Do we need this battle of Armageddon? Maybe we do, and it scares the crap out of me. I say, good God, folks, get it together. Understand how you're being manipulated, how you're being tyrannized. Otherwise, how can you ever extract yourself from it? Okay, you can't. Know what you're looking for. Let's define terms like government and freedom and what is progress when it comes to social, economic, and political matters. Okay? What does it mean to just come together and heal the divide in this country and unite and say, you know what? The best thing we can do for the other countries is to set a good example. This is the very best thing we can do. So let's take care of our own family here in America first. Okay, let's get it together here before we start going into every other country in the world and telling them how to run a democracy. Let's get our own act together. So I think I'm with Alex Jones, but I'm his harshest critic because always I'll leave a comment on YouTube or I'll say so in my series of videos I put out, what I think. But I don't pull any punches because I'm a friend. And that's what a friend does. A friend doesn't let you just do things when you might not be seeing the forest for the trees. But your friend's looking from a distance, and he sees more clearly where you're struggling, where you're stumbling, where you may be falling. And I see it's in not guarding his tongue enough. He's got to watch it because they're using all these things against him. Okay, but Tom Brokaw, I mean, this is unnerving what he says without a stitch of evidence that Alex Jones is a racist. Give me a break. What the hell's that all about? I mean, no, he should be sued. Alex Jones and his attorney should sue NBC, Tom Brokaw, for a flat-out defamation of character lawsuit. Okay, that is totally unacceptable. To just call somebody patently, unalloyed, as Tom Brokaw put it, a pure racist, when there's not one word I've ever heard. I've been listening for over 10 years. I've never heard one word of racism, okay? And it's not even xenophobia. These people that at the top, they're wrecking our civilization. They're causing problems all over the world. They're causing a clash of civilizations. It's not just about bringing in cheap, hard-up, hungry labor. It's about the commerce. It's about money. It's about economics. It's about last-ditch efforts to prop up our economy, our failed economy. And yes, they love putting the labor class in their place. Say, oh, yeah, you think you're so great? You think that you're going to get how much as a landscaper? Ha! These guys will do it for 1/4 of what you're doing it for. And they love that. I mean, the immigrants absolutely love the occupation I've chosen as a landscaper. Okay, so, I mean, I know firsthand what this is about. And yes, I've seen a huge reduction in the available work, okay? And people they think, well, just because this guy's got this name, they think, well, yeah, I'm going to get a better deal. He's hungrier. And, so you understand how that works? That's the reality. Okay, in the Chamber of Communists, they promote all this crap because it's business. It's a head count at the end of the day. Do you understand? It's job security for every establishmentarian out there. The government has been working against the best interests of the people. That's fascist. When they're working with private special interest groups to inflate the cost of housing, for example, and telling you it's a good thing. Because the majority of Americans are to this day homeowners, so they've still got the critical mass in their favor when they're manipulating the housing market and debasing your housing dollars, which causes a chain reaction in your cost of living because everybody's scrambling. Well, my rent went up. I've got to raise my price for whatever services or commodities I offer or combination thereof. Do you understand how this thing works? Do you understand why Alex Jones is pissed off, frustrated, indignant? I do, okay? And I am an apologist for him, and I will defend what I know to be lies, and Tom Brokaw should be sued. I'm sorry, NBC should be sued, okay? And InfoWars will be sitting pretty, get $100 million easily out of that. I mean, that's besmirching your name. That's pure, to use Tom Brokaw's word, that's unalloyed defamation of character.
Common sense.
I agree with Trump on that. He agrees with me. Because I've got articles. He's following Alex on coal. He's following Alex on guns. He's following Alex on borders.
The 2016 campaign was good for InfoWars. Its YouTube monthly views reached 83 million in November 2016, more than 5 times higher than the previous November. And when Mr. Trump won, Alex Jones found himself with access to the seat of power. InfoWars got a temporary White House press pass for the first time, and Jones says Mr. Trump called him after the election to thank him for his help. You have said that it's surreal to say something on InfoWars and then hear it come out of the President of the United States' mouth a couple days later.
I mean, that has happened, but...
Do you think he's watching?
I mean, I know Trump watches and sees the clips and things.
We did find indications of that. On July 22nd, 2015, InfoWars put up this video, claiming it showed drug trafficking along the U.S.-Mexico border, although we don't know what it actually shows.
We actually witnessed a drug smuggling operation from Mexico into the U.S.
3 days later, Mr. Trump gave this speech in Iowa.
Big store, it's all over the place now. Guys swimming across, and big bags of stuff. It's drugs. Swimming across the river.
This was InfoWars previewing the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
I think she's going to show up and on drugs, though. She's going to be whacked up.
And Mr. Trump's take not long after.
We should take a drug test prior, because I don't know what's going on with her.
Donald Trump ally and frequent InfoWars guest Roger Stone underscored the connection between Jones and the Trump campaign in a tweet last spring. It read, MSM elites don't see that Alex Jones and InfoWars reach millions of Donald Trump supporters and helped make the Trump